Hello, everyone, and welcome to Old World. We have another multiplayer tournament match happening for you today. In this game, we have Jams versus Marauder, their elimination match. Joining me in the caster's booth today is Mohawk's very own Fluffy Bunny. Hello, Fluffy Bunny.
Hello, Scientific, and hello, everyone watching. Welcome to the stream. It's
Yes,
exciting to be here.
it's very exciting times. Just to play a little bit of a catch up here. Carthage did Carthage things. Marauder's playing Carthage, and he secured most of the map pretty quickly. Jams, on the other side, struggled with his first barbarian camps for a little bit, but eventually managed to expand and got himself to the center of the map, this city site here that is now owned by Carthage. They sparred a little bit, and ultimately, Jams. I did think what is the correct thing to do if you happen to be losing. If I don't know if that battle was completely lost, but he kind of retreated back and consolidated his forces and tried to cut his losses. And now we have Carthage pressuring on the hills outside of Egypt.
Yeah, so we can see that Carthage is showing as stronger than Jams, although they are naive. They don't quite have the tech. Jams has his one free light chariot, plus quite a few other chariots, free ballista on the way in 3 turns, some archers coming along. So certainly not decided by any means.
Yes, it looks like Egypt has had a pretty decent science lead by about 10 points for the majority of the game. They just recently took a big dip. I suspect that's from their starting ruler dying. And then the military score shows a classic but sizable lead for Carthage. Most of this is probably tribal units, however, and their upgrades. But Jams does seem around now to be starting to close that gap. So hopefully Jams will keep building military units. Doesn't look like he has a couple queues open. So hopefully he'll see the threat in the hills and keep building units. Archers versus slingers is definitely an advantage to the archers, though.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, of course, Carthage doesn't have too much in the way of advanced units. They've got what can we see? We can see 1 spear and 1 axe at the front.
Yeah. It does look like the majority of their tribal units from the last battle have been killed off. I can only see about 2 of them, and the rest of the force is comprised of slingers. So Marauder has been playing very aggressive, building mostly military units, I would say, for this opening here, and just hurling them across the map at Jams.
Yeah, so we're looking at 9 slingers for
Wow.
Carthage, plus an axe, a spear, and 3 elite marauders. That is their army. 14 units in total.
Wow. All right. Compared to Egypt, we have. Oh, I can't toggle for some reason.
I can tell you we have 2 archers, 3 chariots, a light chariot, 2 axes. So only 8 units in total. So yeah, he's
Wow.
definitely behind,
Yeah.
but better units.
Better units, but a better force can lose as long as the orders are there. So let's take a look at that. Let's look at it. Take a look at that. Yeah, Carthage. Oh, they're both pretty much neck and neck for orders throughout the game. So as long as they have the orders to move all of the units around, a larger force can beat a more advanced force. It's just tricky to pull off sometimes. The ziggurat is being finished in Madu in Egypt. So let's take a look at any other. And Egypt has the Oracle on the way as well. So, and with Carthage, they have the Jebel Barkal being under construction. They got the Ishtar Gate, and they have the Museum of all things being under construction as well. So they have a pretty good development on their side of the map.
Yeah, it's definitely a city disparity. So 8 cities to 5.
Oh wow!
Plus, yeah, decent economy.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Jams, yeah,
improvements now too. We have 54 improvements on Carthage to 29 on Jam. So despite this aggression, it doesn't seem like Carthage is falling too far behind in the economy game.
yeah,
16
not what you want to
specialists.
see.
Jesus. 16 specialists on Carthage. Just Jams is 7.
Yeah, Carthage has managed to spam out its economy while not investing too much in their military and relying a lot on their tribal units. So, does Carthage doing Carthage things?
Yep, Carthage doing Carthage things, unfortunately. We have 3 stonecutters and a miner in the capital, so that's interesting to see, but I don't hate it.
We have some movement from Jams. It looks like he's falling his cavalry back.
Oh, wow, yeah, he's really backing off there. That's interesting. I wonder if he's trying to hope for the idea that maybe Carthage doesn't have a scout in these woods, so maybe Carthage will advance and give him an opportunity to come up with a big rout.
Yeah, well, keeping the cavalry in the back definitely seems like a reasonable play if he doesn't want them to get killed straight off, and they can rush in and do some good damage if Carthage decides to advance.
Yes, and also there is a zealot ruler, pretty decently stat zealot ruler. It is on a spear right now, so that zealot ruler can actually just almost hit these spears. So if Jams has noticed that, that would have been reason enough to pull them back from their previous position.
Oof, yeah, that spear doing 10 damage to each
Yeah,
of those chariots.
yeah, that's a nightmare. Especially, I mean, honestly, I might even move them further down here towards Madu or whatever, because if that spear gets in those woods, that could be a problem.
Yes, we need more axes, really. We've got one under construction in Worcester. Looks like Madu and Pelisium are building apprentice officers now, which is probably not what we want to see right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the axe really is the best thing against that spear right now. It would do 8 damage. The chariots would only do 3 or 4. And out in the open, obviously the light chariot would be fine. But once that thing gets in the woods, that could be really tricky to deal with.
Yeah, so Jams has the iron to build a lot more axes. He absolutely could be. Oh, wow. He does have estates in Madu, so I can kind of understand why he's not building military units there. As it's
Oh, man.
23 turns to build an axeman, which is not ideal.
Not ideal, but honestly, I probably might even just start it anyway. Because especially like with the estate, what's the officer going to do? It's just going to catch you up from that deficit, right? I just put the axe in there, put a couple turns into it, and then wait for my civics enough to be maybe rush one.
Yeah.
At least in this
makes
situation
sense.
when we're being pressured so much, right?
Yes, yeah. He needs to be spending his civics to rush, absolutely. Okay, so we're back to Carthage by the look of it.
Yep.
Jams has not actually spent all his orders. He's got 8 left over. We're playing on tight, are we? We are playing on tight, so he can still move his scouts and his worker if he wants to.
Carthage also has Spoked Wheel coming up in 1 turn, which is not really going to be great for Jams if he immediately starts building chariots as a response, which I think is a fun thing to do when you're in the lead here. It's like all of a sudden you have a bunch of slingers or spears or whatever, so your opponent's thinking, oh, I'll build axes or I have my chariots to deal with these slingers anyway, and then suddenly you come out with your own chariots, and your opponent just spent the last turn building axes to deal with your spears, so it's like a weird back and forth rock, paper, scissors thing.
Indeed. So we've seen a couple of moves from Marauder's scout in the back line here. He's checking what's going on at Worcester.
Good vision, decent vision. Always nice to have eyes on your opponent. Yeah, I think these officers down here by Egypt are a bit of a mistake. Everything should be building a unit right now.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely feeling pressured. Jams needs to be able to defend this push. Otherwise, this game could be over quite quickly.
Yeah. The nice thing is if Carthage does stay out front and decides not to be bold and go for the woods in these back areas, excuse me, I mean, we have archers, and we do have this really nice light chariot, so that'll do quite a bit of damage. Like 1 archer does 9 damage to a slinger. There's 1 archer in this city center. So
yeah, if they're caught out in the open, I mean, yes, I guess if he stays in the forest, he's not going to be able to attack much from there. But it does look like Carthage is pushing people forwards.
Yeah, it looks to me as if he's probably going to get himself in these woods as like a staging mechanism to kind of catch up more units, because he has all these horses, all these other slingers down here by the central city. If he just hangs out in the woods, not like Egypt is in a position to attack. So then he could just take another few turns, getting twice as many units in the region. And then he could attack off of that.
Yep, starting to look problematic as well. There's no decent route chains there, even for the chariots.
Yeah. I like this strategy. I like that Marauder, he's aggressive, but he's also, in this particular situation, No, he's seeing his opponent be weaker, but he's taking his time. He's not just like throwing slingers at city walls for no reason.
I'm just going to post a link to the stream as it's not up at the moment.
Oh. Oh, I didn't press enter. My bad. But yeah, if you could do that for me, that'd be great.
Yeah, just in the. Oh, actually, that's just in the match commenters. Let's put that in general as well.
Yeah. All right. We do have 7 people live with us, so although 2 of those people might be us, so but to the rest of you, thanks for being here. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, it goes without saying, please give us a like, give us a subscribe, hop on over to the Mohawk YouTube channel. They have the playlist for all of the tournament matches happening. We're catching the majority of these matches. I think we've only missed about 1 so far, which is pretty incredible. And yeah, you can follow their channel and keep up with the playlist on there. So we have plenty of civics, but no adoption of slavery or freedom from Carthage, which I find a little bit interesting.
Yeah, unusual. When did they pick up labor force? Was that quite recently?
Oh, yeah, it should have been recently, I think. Or no, wait a minute. Turn 40. They haven't adopted a law for 15 turns.
Wow. Okay.
That's a lot of slavery income to leave on the table.
Yeah, I wonder what the thinking is there. She's trying to. Oh, co-caster volume's a little bit low. He's hard to hear. Thank you for the feedback. Hopefully this is a little bit better now. Let us know if that has helped.
I will also turn you up just in case. Thanks for the feedback on that. I have no metric for figuring out how loud people are.
And welcome to the stream, Beckelstein and Jörg. Good to have you here.
Yes, welcome. And if you could just let us know if Fluffy is a little louder now, that would be great.
Okay, so we're back to jams again. Which looks like the turn timer is still paused. I'm not sure if they're planning on unpausing that at some point.
They are. I think they said they're going to go maybe 2 turns before they unpause it. All right, we have direct upgrades to militia, not taking any opportunity to like surprise with those. He's just diving right in and taking workers, upgrading to militia. Wild. I think that's an issue because that signals to your opponent how much trouble you're in.
It's generally a desperation play, upgrading your workers, especially when Jams didn't even really have that many workers to start with. So yeah he's sacrificing the ability to develop his economy much more. Obviously, if that actually does help stave off an assault, it's worth it rather than dying. But
sure,
yeah, not a good move, especially when you've got cities not building units that could be even if Madu's not building military units, it could be building a militia.
Yep, it could be building a militia. Or honestly, I mean, one thing that's great about the builders on the throne, but he doesn't really have the training for this. If you're really in the desperation mode, he could just keep building 3-turn workers, 3-4-turn workers, and just upgrade those to militia instead. So maybe that's the thinking behind this little upgrade play right here is that, well, it just only takes him 3 turns to get a worker, but his build, oh, no, she's only 39. She's got time.
He doesn't really have the training for it, though, does he?
No.
Earned all his training on those upgrades.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Also, I mean, the other thing is, if I was going to do this, I might do it a little bit further back. That way I could actually get them to move in. Maybe if I get it under attack, but like he could have just upgraded those, and if Marauder does decide to move in next turn, those things are just going to instantly die. Which I guess is better than him attacking something else. Militia does make good bait.
So actually, just thinking about it, of course, Carthage has a zealot leader, so he may well be saving the civics for an enlist.
Oh, true.
That light chariot, that would be very pleasant for him.
That would make sense. I mean, yeah, and the spirit, I mean, that's the perfect target too, that light chariot. It's the biggest threat for sure, and would be quite the prize.
even just getting a regular chariot would be pretty good, considering Carthage doesn't have any in the field at the moment, and
For sure.
yeah,
For
not
sure.
facing any spears. Or a well-promoted archer would be nice. Not that there are any of them on the field.
Oh, so here's a bit of an ace in the hole, though, although still a problem with the zealot on the field. 2 turns on Egypt getting a ballista.
Yep, that might help them a little bit.
I mean, if he managed to get that inside of a city, then that city is going to be incredibly difficult to take. I mean, you can still do it with
Sure.
slingers, but
I do wonder if there's a tactical issue there, though. I mean, he's running out of cities to do that with and not have the army supporting as well. I mean, he did have the opportunity to put his light chariot in Shasatep while that was under siege with the walls and did decline to do so. So I don't know how well that would work at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, it would certainly make cities harder to take, but yeah, it's with this level of units, especially with all the range support, it's going to be
very difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. All right, well, let's see what Carthage does in response to this.
Oh, we have a free elephant, and we have battle line. Oh, we're going for the elephant. Very cool to see.
Nice. Good to get a Stompy Boy in play. It'll be his first router unit as well. Which, of course, will take quite a while to get all the way from the back lines, especially seeing as Carthage has not built any roads.
Yes, that is interesting. And what do they have? They don't even have exploration either, which, I mean, wouldn't be too much benefit on this particular map, but, I mean, you get at least a couple of tiles right here from this river. Maybe a couple down here too, as well, but...
Heppled Run says it is better. Marvellous. Thank you very much for letting us know.
Excellent. Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this battle in the center in the first half of this game might have been a little bit of a misplay on Jams. I mean, both players had a couple of tactical blunders back and forth in that match. And, of course, if you are on the losing end, I definitely think it's better to retreat and save your units than just have them hanging out at a city waiting to die. But I think Jams had the ability to hold that city at least kill way more units than he probably did.
Yeah, he could definitely have taken something out. Just having a look at the units lost, so Jams has lost 16 units to Carthage's 15. And I imagine a lot of those 15 are going to be tribal units. So yeah, Jams has already lost a lot. Yeah, sorry, wow. That is the wrong stat. That is completely the wrong stat. Jams has lost 6 units to Carthage's Marauder's 10. So it's not as bad.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really sucks about going against Carthage too, is that it's like, yes, Jams lost 6 and Carthage has lost 10, but really 5 to 8 of those 10 units were probably all tribal.
Yes, indeed.
Which, of course, is still a blow.
In fact, we can see that Carthage has hired 8 units, is that right? And he has 3 left.
Yeah, at least 2 left.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
probably
3.
Probably all of those units that he's lost to the tribals.
Yeah. Wow.
More slow pushing, moving into that forest terrain. Yeah, it is quite a nice place for him to be, for sure. He is starting to open himself up more for a route here.
Yep. I really do like this, just because sometimes I think this is useful. Like, you can get so tempted especially with all this zealot fatigue, right? To take 1 slinger back here and just spend 5 orders moving it up. But you could also just take 4 slingers and have them all move like 2 spaces up, and then just do that again next turn, and now your whole army is in the region.
Yeah, and it is, to be fair, tricky for Jams to deal with that, especially with those 2 zealot slingers out front. They're very hard to route through effectively.
Yes, that's the best thing about zealots, is that they are such a chore to route through because you waste a whole attack on them. He has 3, no, including the ruler, he has 4 zealot generals in the field anyway, so that's just going to be a nightmare to do any effective routing there, in addition to the fact that one of those units is a spear.
Oh, wow, and he's also got his heir, the 18-year-old zealot, who is eligible to be a general, so he could easily put her on a unit as well, which would be very pleasant.
Man.
Wonder if he'll save her for the African elephant. That would be a nice unit to have a zealot on.
And then, if he wants to be really cheeky, he could get 900 civics and enlist twice in one turn by abdicating to the heir.
Yes, I suppose he could. Oh dear. Fun times.
That one might need a cooldown, just like launch offensive, but it is fun. It is fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a sensible thing to be doing. You know, it's a funny idea to abdicate for a second enlist in a turn, but is that really worth it long term unless you're winning the game immediately on that one battle? I don't know.
True, it might just be more of a win more button. Good point.
All right, we're back to Jams. He is chopping some wood with his worker. I guess he maybe is trying to get resources for more units, so he doesn't feel like he needs more resources for units at the moment.
Could be worried about vision as well.
Oh, he could be trying to deny a scout vision, yes, but he's got an awful lot of forest there to chop, so I'm not sure how practical that's going to be.
Also, the other thing, too, is, yeah, he could be thinking, well, that army right now is in the woods, and that's a problem for me, so maybe I don't want that army in these woods over here.
Yeah, that would be a decent bit of long-term planning, certainly.
Especially because,
not even that long-term, really.
Yeah, yeah, well, because, like, most of the units that are in that wood can actually... Whoa.
What? What is going on here? That's wild.
Okay, so the only thing I can think, but he doesn't have the training for this. Whoa, an axe too? Well, goodbye. So the only thing I could surmise off of this play, if it were me doing something crazy like this, because what I tend to do risky, weird stuff like this, is if I had 100 training, I have a ballista coming out in one turn. That means I can force march the ballista into this battle next turn, right? So the only reason why I could think you would be thinking to do this is maybe you're trying to get the strength of your opponent to come in on these crap units. But again, I wouldn't have moved the axe in there. But, militia, get in a nice position, and then you force march your ballista and do some serious damage, right? And then get a route chain off of it.
Yeah, not that he has the training to do it.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that.
A long way for a force march.
Yeah. I don't know that a ballista can make that distance on its own even with the roads. So that this seems at least a turn too early.
And he's not even killing anything. He's not even killing that slinger.
Yep, that's that's a blunder there. This is an elimination match. If you're watching, so whoever loses this battle or this match rather will be out of the tournament. And the victor will continue to fight for survival. So, not looking so hot for Jams at the moment, but we'll see what tricks he could have up his sleeves. Time to see how Carthage reacts.
Jams did rush out an Axeman and was set, so he is going to have a couple more new units next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just don't think he had the ability to get them there. Although, again, it could be the idea of thinking it's like maybe he's trying to draw these units out into the field, out of these woods. But really, I would want to make sure that I could get that ballista in range. Because, to be fair, a ballista and units that can route is a pretty brutal combo. Because the ballista can set up the route chain for you, basically, by hitting 3 different units. But yeah, no, I think he's going to lose a lot right now and not gain much for it, unfortunately.
Yep, so a couple of events for Carthage. The artisans are angry. You could spend some orders or improve their opinion and decrease other people's opinion. I guess probably just spending 3 orders is a better option there.
Yes, probably. Yeah. All right, we have our first axe coming in.
Yeah, just kill everything here, really. I think is going to be the play.
Yeah. I'm mostly curious about where things end up in terms of positioning. because I'm deeply curious about the possibility of what will be routed next turn. But I feel like the other issue is with this Zealot ruler on Carthage, whatever he brings out here to route is, I suspect, will most certainly get enlisted.
Yes, that seems entirely reasonable. Although Carthage does seem to have spent a lot of their civics. Have they? No, they didn't enact law.
Wow,
Not
nice.
sure
Yeah, they got
what
that
their
law,
civil
yeah.
list has
Oh, no, they
become.
didn't.
No.
Huh.
A rush, perhaps?
Or
No, not seeing anything being rushed this turn, at least.
governors, maybe? No. I don't know. Huh, that's weird.
Anyway, what have we got? We've killed a militia so far.
Oh,
12
no,
orders left.
he used enlist. Enlist lasts for 3 years, so enlist is already enabled on that ruler. That could
Oh,
be
wow.
that could be interesting. Technically, this means
Unusual.
Egypt could attempt to wait it out.
I mean, yeah, I suppose if Egypt falls back everything now, realise this was a bad idea, then
Yeah.
that kind of forces Carthage to go in. Yes, I don't know why you would apply that early. It doesn't cost any orders or time to use that apply in little X kill, so you literally can just use it the moment before you're ready to kill something and enlist it. So I'm not sure there's really any advantage to doing that early.
Unless he's decided to go for an axe right now, but he's running out of orders, so I feel like I'm not sure. I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure that there's any real way that Jams or the opponent would be able to intuit that enlist has been used. Like, you would literally need to click on the spear and notice the icon. I don't think there's a graphical indication, so I don't think Jams would be in a position to actually wait that out, but I'm just thinking, wow, you actually could now. If you just back off and that thing doesn't kill anything in 3 years, then it's going to waste enlist. That's wild.
Yeah, so technically, Jams can see that that unit effect on the spear if he cared to look at it. So it is possible for him to see it.
Now
I suppose, interestingly, this is another way. Of course, you could do the old abdicate and get a dual enlist, because this unit effect is on this unit now for 3 turns.
That's
even
a
if
great
the
point.
queen abdicates, then.
And well, we're going for the lift on the axe.
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay. Oh, and all that, and we got a crit anyway.
Nice.
That's great.
So yes, I suppose technically what you could do is use apply enlist, abdicate to a zealot, then use apply enlist on them, then abdicate to another zealot, and get a triple enlist. If you really wanted to get silly about it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's what I'll do. That's how I'll beat you.
I would love to see it. If that worked, that would be. I would. Yeah, that's fair enough. You deserve to win there.
All right, back to Jams, and we'll see how we respond. I want to take a look at this ballisted damage and see if, see, we can already one-shot one of the slingers out in the field. So, I mean, like, yeah, and he can basically, look how far he can get. He can get right to the edge of that battle. So, and we're 5 training short of a force march. Yeah. So, honestly, I think the idea of throwing a couple of units out, because look at all this positioning here. It's just very routable. I think the idea of that might have made sense, but you needed the ballista to be ready.
Yeah, it is a shame actually, isn't it? Because there's so much you could get a beautiful route there and kill several units if you had the support. And to be honest, he probably still could with the archers and the light chariot. He could certainly kill probably 2 or 3 units there.
Yes.
But yeah, would have been so much better with the ballista.
Well, he definitely got his opponent in a bunched up position. So if Carthage is feeling, the bait could have a long-term effect, right? If Carthage is feeling like, well, hey, yeah, now I just killed 3 units, I'm definitely going to win this, and then he just advances everything further, you're still going to have a bunch of units out in the open, so maybe Jams will have a better shot next time of killing a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, it's an interesting psychological effect, though, isn't it? If you bait someone with some units and get them to come out and attack you, then it is very easy to get out of position in a way that you would perhaps try and avoid if you were just advancing without attacking.
Right.
New YouTube video for Siontific, the enlist chain is being requested from CSAND.
All right, we'll work on that. You know, I'll have to make like Mojo on his first game and just run zealots for the entire game. That was very impressive.
Yes, it would take a fair bit of setup work, I suppose, wouldn't it? Because you need to get a chain of successors that are all zealots.
Or you just what? Or you would need enough civics that you would be able to abdicate into the heir that's a zealot, and then name someone else in your dynasty as that character's heir, and then abdicate. So it would basically be 2 abdications and naming an heir, which would all be legitimacy hits, by the way. That would cost you at least 30 legitimacy.
Yeah, and of course the civics as well. I'd kind of forgotten the civics cost for abdication. So yeah, you're talking about if you wanted to do it twice in a row and get 3 enlists, that's what, 1,400 civics?
Yeah.
Not cheap.
1,400 civics, at least 30 legitimacy, not including cognomen decay when you're swapping rulers. So probably more like 50, 60 legitimacy. That'd be... I'm going to do this.
But maybe not in a tournament game.
Maybe. I don't know. Odds are that's how I'm going to lose my first match. I'm going to try and do something completely ridiculous for the memes and the content, and then I'm just going to lose.
All right, we're back to Carthage's turn.
All right, here we go.
He's saying he bought a lot of orders for that list, apparently. I missed that. But yeah, Carthage has got 25 orders coming in a turn. He can't afford to move everything, but he's got enough to move a fair amount of his units.
I'll swap over the perspective of Egypt here just to see what we're dealing with and what we're looking at as it comes in. I suspect Marauder might attack. No, he's backing this unit up for a heal. That does make sense.
I wonder if we will see slingers come in to start poking the city, or even this exposed archer. Not that Carthage has eyes on that at the moment.
Do they have... Oh, and the great news is, unless he was paying specific attention to what's set on Jams's turn, this ballista is hidden. So it's entirely possible that Carthage doesn't know it's there.
Yeah, it is entirely possible. I wonder... Yeah, I mean, I guess if he... Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see what Carthage does. But yes, potentially Jams does have the ability to kill a load of people. It doesn't look like Carthage is advancing, though. They're down to 10 orders, and none of their frontline military units moved yet.
Yep.
So he seems quite happy just to sit where he is for the moment.
Yeah, we see the elephant moving up from the back line. No real movement on these tribals, but I think he's... honestly, it's one of those things with, like, when you're in such a dominant position, on the one hand, yes, you could end the game, but on the other hand, it's like, if you're worried about making a blunder, well, you can only just keep winning more if you just hang tight. It depends. Sometimes, depends on things like science rate, but with your opponent being naive... Wait, or is Carthage the naive one? Oh, Carthage is the naive one, right. Interesting. I don't know. It's such a weird ecosystem about winning a duel of, like... It's kind of like... I made a comparison the other day. It's kind of like running a race where you're, like, drafting on your opponent. Like, if you just sprint ahead, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win because you could run out of steam. But obviously, if you lag too far behind, you could lose too because, well, now your opponent's just so far ahead that you can't catch up. So it's like there's this weird thing in the old world duel ecosystem where you kind of have to, like, keep pace with your opponent and then kind of get that sense of knowing when to, like, sprint for the finish line.
Yeah, as so often happens in old world, it's all about timing. You've got to know when to strike, when to hang back, when to push, when to be more cautious.
It's an incredibly difficult thing to get right.
Yeah, when to fall back.
Yeah,
when to hold your ground.
All the orders are spent, so we should be headed back to Jams now. And all right, so no bait taken, no further advance, nothing to really do with the ballista. So one thing I would not like to see Jams try to do is I don't think Jams should be aggressive here. He can do a lot of damage, but I really think you want Carthage to move his troops closer first.
So what would you do in this situation, Scientific? With that ballista, where would you put the ballista, I suppose, is the first question. Do we want to see that moving forwards or hanging back where it is?
Well, I think it's either fine where it is, or if it were me, I have these workers stacked up here. I might move it down into these woods since my opponent's damage is majority ranged and I don't want this thing to get enlisted, right? So I'd move it down into these woods and then I'd take one or two of these workers and off of the Wonder, because I don't care about the Wonder. I don't need the Wonder right now. I'd road up from these woods along these hills. That way, that'll get me the most movement I have if Carthage moves in next turn.
Okay, so we're seeing an archer upgrade, still chopping a load of wood, so I guess that's to fuel archer upgrades, although I don't think Jams has any slingers left, does he?
Also, he is building
No, they're all
chariots.
archers now. Yep, we're seeing walls in Shedette, 9-year walls. That seems unlikely to be a lot of use.
Yeah, no, especially because I don't think that's going to be the main target. This is a situation for those of you watching where it's like, this wall, this is like a blunder. Like maybe you put a wall in this city here, right? But when you're dealing with this level of force threatening on you, a wall up here isn't going to do anything because if this army wins this battle at Icon and takes the city, I mean, the game is over. So rather than 9 turns on a wall for defense, just put 7 turns on a spear or an axe, or do even 5 turns on a slinger and then just pay to upgrade it into an archer. If you can afford it, obviously. But the wall isn't going to help you in this situation. You're already on your back foot.
Yeah, Jams is still way behind on units. He definitely just needs more units.
Yeah, we'll get a master officer down in Nadu. This should also be building a unit. The same thing. We have 150 civics. We have 50 civics coming in per turn. Even just a couple of turns of weak production into an archer can help you bring it down into rushing range. All right. But yeah. Yeah, the ballast is probably good where it is. I might move it up a little bit. Probably these woods.
The ping from Jans was a volcanic eruption down near Pelusium, but the graphics for the eruption are not showing. Interestingly, possibly because it's on the edge of the map. Small bug there.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if it's because it's slightly off the map.
Yeah, that would be my guess, but something worth testing. So yeah, I knew it was worth me jumping on a match to commentate and finding bugs.
Yep.
If I can submit a bug report as an observer, no, I can't.
That would be
That's
wild.
a shame. We should enable that. That would be a good feature. Oh, maybe I can actually.
I was thinking too about chatting. I know you guys just recently disabled the ability for observers to chat, but I also think it could be funny if observers could have their own chat. Like if you and I were watching this as spectators and not commenting, for me to be able to like type in and be like, "Wow, this is wild," and only the observers be able to read it.
That would be that's a cool idea. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know if there's enough people who are getting into the whole observing scene for that to actually make sense to work on, but yeah, it's something I thought of recently.
Yeah, I can submit a bug report as an observer. Marvelous. Good to know.
Really? That's so funny.
Ah, it makes sense. I mean, why disable that functionality? That's useful.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. Well, that's on stream now. There you go, guys. If you didn't know how to submit a bug report, that's how you do it. Just right there, and then you just pops up. Oh, I clicked it again. It's going to pop up again. Yeah. And then just go, hey, stream. And then, yeah.
All right. So Jam still hanging back. I'm not sure we've seen any military moves here. No, it doesn't look like any of his military units have moved. He's just doing worker actions here. So he's content to stay where he is. I wonder if Carthage is also content to stay where they are. Presumably we'll see the elephant moving up some more.
Yeah, we're probably
A
going to...
couple of turns to get him to the front line. Might be nice to see a forced march to get them there a bit quicker, but I guess Carthage is not in any rush.
Yeah. This is one of those situations where, especially because all of these units are outside of your borders, right, where it's possible that delaying could come back and work against you because your opponent is building archers. They are building that you're aware of, right? They can build chariots. So you have all of your units out in the open, and so every turn you give them the opportunity to get more archers and more chariots into the field. Make this particular force less and less equipped to deal with that because we still don't... We have one spear. We have a new spear back here that can come up.
Yeah, in terms of what Carthage is building, he's building a spear and then a 9-turn chariot, and that is it for new units. So it's not like he's waiting for more reinforcements. Other than this elephant, I mean, maybe he's just waiting for the African elephant. But yeah, delaying is working in Jam's favour at the moment.
Yep. Unfortunately,
Carthage has 37 orders this turn. I seem to have got a big boost from somewhere. Oh, he is moving in. There we go. We're seeing an attack.
All right, here we go. Very nice to see. So
the worker.
Great. That's great for Jams. I love it when civilians do their job and die for their country.
Love to see Carthage poking a bit deeper here and possibly getting the kill and convert on that light chariot there, which is looking somewhat exposed, I'd say.
He does have 10 damage from the ruler, but he would need a lot of slingers to move in. But I actually think he could get that. Depends on his orders. Oh, he's 29 orders left.
He could. He still doesn't see it. I don't think there does he yet. Oh, he must.
He doesn't. There's no vision. He had vision of the capital, but he had no vision. He really should be putting a scout in these woods down here because this is where you want to be able to spot someone's reinforcement potential. So he's blind to the ballista. Even though he knows that Jams has chariots, he's blind to the 3 chariots where they are, and he's blind to the light chariot. Which, I mean, tactically speaking, this is fantastic for Jams.
Yeah, I mean, this is Jam's moment, right? This is the time the ballista and the chariots come up and start doing some work.
100%. I would feel confident enough to say that if Jams doesn't have an amazing next turn, that I think this game was just going to be over. He needs the ballista and his 3 chariots. Well, technically 4 with the light chariot. He needs his chariot. He needs everything to do massive amount of work next turn, but Carthage is obliging him and getting into a fantastic position for Jams to work with. This is exactly what you want to see.
Bit of a shame about that river there, splitting his forces a little bit, but there's still definitely some good route potential here. Carthage still doesn't see that light chariot.
Nope.
Hiding behind the hill.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. And honestly, I didn't know this would pan out this way, but just the idea I was mentioning last turn about moving the ballista slightly up and put it in these woods. It would have been blind in the woods, too. Yeah. So, yeah, but it's in a perfect spot. I'm going to hop over to the Jams perspective now and see where we can go with this. Yeah, it can move right up. And don't forget, if you're not aware watching this, a ballista will hit 3 units in a row. So not only does it do massive damage, it does only do something like 50%. It pierces at 50%.
Only 50%, indeed.
I know.
Still,
right?
what, 7 or 8 damage on an axe in urban? Still some good damage.
Right, but that's why they're so devastating, especially against like ancient, Bronze Age forces. A ballista will just wreck axes and slingers and warriors and stuff, and then you can clean up with the chariots. But these. All right. Zealots are still going to put in a massive amount of work, these generals.
So Carthage has spent all their orders. They have killed 1 worker. And they have taken Icon down to half health, but that doesn't matter because Icon is still going to get that axeman out next turn.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, Jams. Let's see some retaliation now.
Yep, this is it. This is your moment.
So yeah, ballista on that slinger and piercing through to those 2 axes. little bit of splash damage with an axe just to get the zealot down to 1 health, then a rout.
Oh, yeah.
Looks quite nice to me.
Oh, yeah. He should be able to kill at least 3 units this turn, but I suspect 4 or 5.
See what he chooses to do, how he's going to play this.
All right, Jams, I believe in you, buddy. Let's not go home early. You're one of our content creators.
I suppose another option would be to march the ballista onto the hill and strike downwards into the
I was thinking that.
slinger.
I was thinking that too. You got 2 good options. I'm not honestly sure which direction I would go here. I think I might choose the zealot, and the only reason for that is because even though we have a lot of ranged units here, that still puts me on this side of the river. Oh, actually, you'd be on a river over here too, and you'd be in scrub. Yeah, that's a tough call.
Okay, so we've taken some attacks from the light chariot and an archer here.
Not liking this.
No ballista or route movement yet so far.
Not liking this. Okay, well, he still has stronger kill potential. Even with these 2 armies, I think the kill potential is in Jams' favor. But
well, he can kill that axe now.
He could, but if he does it with the ballista, he's going to kill his route chain.
I think the route chain has pretty much gone already, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Doesn't look ideal.
So,
yeah, I mean,
I suppose one way you could do this, although it wouldn't be my preferred way, you could do a round of getting a bunch of units low, right? And maybe your opponent in their position of feeling dominant stays in the fight, gets a couple more kills, and then you can do an even bigger route chain next turn, question mark?
Yeah, I mean, that light chariot's definitely getting converted at the moment, though, isn't it? Based on what units are looking like at the moment. It's his best unit gone.
You got to. This is the time for the military worker, the tactical worker, to shine. If you're ever in this situation, chat, and you're wondering what to do to protect yourself if you're not doing that great in a battle and you're not going to move in more units, just take a couple workers and surround your unit. It will make it harder for the zealot to come in and enlist it. Of course, you just want the orders to do that. So this isn't going well.
An archer attack on the zealot slinger there, so he's damaged 2 units so far.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of bodes maybe he's thinking about cleaning up with the ballista then.
Oh.
No, we've got a chariot coming in.
All right, so he's probably going to hit this and then kill both with the axe. Okay, still 2 kills. Oh, nope. I don't think Jams is factoring in the tactical element of the route. This is the second time I think I've seen him do this to a zealot in this game. I think the zealot general keeps tripping up his route potential.
Yeah, easy to forget, of course, if you're not paying attention to that little symbol there.
Yeah, and then of course the timer can always be a pressure point as well. So because that was a very quick click between the axe and the horse there. So I can only suspect he was planning to rout with that first horse.
Well, we have a couple of kills at least. I mean, it's better than Carthage did with their 1 worker kill, so that's something.
Honestly, 7 orders, he might actually be able to get a couple more kills. He could definitely kill 1 more slinger, and potentially 2 if he's comfortable with only ballista shotting 1 slinger. He could come up here, hit this. That would give him 3 orders left.
Yeah, surely you don't use the ballista at this point. If you hadn't used it already, you want to save that for a better attack.
That's a good point. And Carthage still can't see it, so Carthage might be inclined to stay in the battle and try to do what they can do.
Yeah, I'd like to see the ballista move forward a little bit and then maybe get into the city next turn. So if this battle is still going on, then it could take some attacks. Presumably Carthage is going to focus on units next turn rather than finishing off battering down this city, though he doesn't necessarily have to.
Yeah, I still think it would definitely be a good time to get that ballista in the forest, I think. Move it up just a couple tiles. Although keeping it on the road makes sense too, I guess. That's why I wanted to road on those tiles last turn. All right, we're just diving right in. This isn't too bad. This is actually looking pretty strong in Jams' favor here.
Oh, we're going to see another route from the
Oh, we
chariot.
have the training. I didn't notice he got all this training. Did he get a training boost?
He did get a training boost, yes.
Oh, wow. Jams! Yes! Oh, he did it again, though.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunate.
Zealots, man!
Oh, well.
Zealots!
Oh, well. He got, what, 3 kills there?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3. So far, Carthage... That's funny. No, not lucky, because you wouldn't have killed the damn thing. So, this is great. I think we're going to go for... We have enlist. He's going to enlist a chariot. That's amazing.
Okay.
This is perfect. Because now we can force march and ballista shot those spears.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. Still not going for that light chariot. Judged it was a lot easier, I guess, to get the chariot, which makes sense. Let's see what else Carthage has got in them. What are they going to kill?
Let's check a look at the orders, too. So 18 orders left, yeah. All right, so they have 1 easy kill. 2 spears on the chariot will certainly do the trick.
You could probably take out the axeman with his axe and a few slingers.
Yeah, I suspect.
Actually, it's not even that easy, is it? Because he hasn't got a lot of tiles he can hit from there. It's getting a little bit congested here.
Yep. This is not the place you want to be when you are facing an opponent who has a bunch of chariots in their area that are supported by archers. He's so close. Jams is so close to having the potential to basically be able to 2-shot a slinger out in the open with the combined effort of 1 archer and 1 chariot, which is just not the type of kill potential you want to see on someone you're attacking. Oh, and there's another potential thing to get routed. Really curious.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Jams does choose to get rid of those spears. As you say, he could ballista them both and probably clean up with the axes.
Yeah. I feel like the trade that you're working with is use the ballista to kill the 2 spears, which seems to be the play here, or just go for the largest possible route you can get by using the ballista combined with chariots on something else.
So he is going for the axe attack. I don't think he can finish the axe, though. It's down to 4 health. He needs at least 1 more slinger attack, and he just doesn't have the tiles to be able to put...
He could
actually, that's not quite true. He could get a slinger all the way around the back and kill an axe.
Yeah, he would have to buy an order. Oh, no. Yeah, he would have to buy an order, but he could do that.
He could actually do that.
I think that would be worth it, to be honest.
Yeah, it seems like the play.
Especially because then you have your opponent thinking about, well, now I have a slinger in the middle of this area to deal with. One of the tactical considerations of this type of combat is, excuse me, ultimately you're going to lose units, so fighting a battle is just about picking which units you're going to lose or which units you're going to trade as it is which units you kill.
Yeah, for sure. You want to try and minimize your losses as much as possible and lose units you don't care about. He's working on this chariot now. Again, it doesn't look like he's got enough for a kill there.
All right, so this is, tactically speaking, this is looking much, much better for Jams. I mean, he's going to be able to have another moment. And again, the kill potential is so much higher because the archers are stronger than slingers. The chariots can rout, and that ballista is just going to come up and shred whatever it touches.
Yeah, if you look at the military score graph, Jams is just going up, whereas Marauder is just going down at the moment. Jams has definitely come off better so far in this battle.
Yeah,
which is wild.
Yep.
All right, Jams, come on. Another chance to shine. Let's see what he's got.
All right, let's do it, buddy. Don't forget about zealots.
So, yeah, we could see the blisters coming up to the spirit. Would need a march, whereas he could just get him in... I don't know where else would be better, really. Again, getting him in the city, getting that ballista in the city would be okay, but there's not really any great spots to attack from there. You wouldn't really be making the most of the ballista there.
I really think I would go for the spears in this situation just because you have the added benefit of removing the zealot from the field, which will stop enlisting for at least a turn.
Yeah,
Honestly,
taking them out.
I wouldn't have even healed the axe. I'd be content to sacrifice that axe to try and kill the spears.
Oh, yeah, he is just running away and healing there. Yeah, it's not really the
Uh,
time to be doing that.
no. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying, right? So like that's what I was kind of alluding to. It's like you're gonna take losses, right? So it's like if you're watching this and you're trying to learn or you're trying to get a sense of multiplayer or the tactics of battle, right? It's like it's instinctual to try and heal up your units because like, oh no, they're gonna die. But no, it's much better. It's like even if the chariot and this axe die, it doesn't matter if you've killed 4 or 5 things this turn while trading those 2 kills. So it's like it's not about not dying, it's about just killing more stuff than your opponent.
We've got a promotion on the ballista, so there's no combat from that this turn, plus
No!
some militia upgrades. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no.
it's looking a little bit sad.
Oh no, this was look at this. They're all stacked up. Oh no, at least kill the horse.
Well, it looks like we're killing a spear here, which is something,
Okay. All right.
hopefully.
I mean, we still
I
have 12
wonder,
orders.
Carthage does see that ballista now. They do have eyes on that, so they could get the horse up to. I suppose the horse is only actually doing 8 damage to the ballista.
Oh, still, that's awful. Combine it with he would have enough to take that. Oh my god, he would have enough to take that if these spears and stuff can get through. If this pass doesn't get clogged up with units, he could rush straight for the ballista. I don't know if that's the correct play, but he could definitely pull it off. He doesn't have the civics though. He only have the 81.
Right, yes, he has, of course, spent 800 on the list already so far.
All right, so Jams is safe from the list, but now Carthage will not be surprised. I think this would have been the opportunity to make a devastating attack right here for Jams. Bit unfortunate that he backed off.
So he still has the opportunity to kill a spear. Hopefully we'll see that. We've got an axe ready to strike and a couple of archers who could come up and finish that off. We do want to see some kind of protection from routes. This converted chariot could get in and start routing now, which would be painful. The light chariot came up. Okay.
Okay. He should have. I think I would have used the light chariot. No, 8 plus 8. Oh, he can kill this horse. A chariot and an axe, and this archer in the city can kill this horse. So he could archer, axe, route in, and then hit another axe, and then I guess you're just trading. Maybe you don't make that trade.
Yeah, because you do leave the chariot right next to the zealot spear then. So
Yeah.
a very tempting target. Might do. I mean, I suppose if it means he doesn't kill the light chariot, which is also looking quite exposed now, then maybe that's better.
We're going for this flinger. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Still, 2 kills compared to the 1 that. Yeah, the only
he
one.
just lost the chariot, right?
Yeah, he just lost the chariot.
That Carthage killed.
But now what I hate is that, oh, well, he can't enlist it, but your light chariot is out in the open.
Oh, yeah, that light chariot is very dead if Marauder wants to kill it. That's for sure.
So is the ballista, actually. He could kill. He basically has his pick to kill any of Jams's big units.
Yep, not an ideal tactical situation, but we'll see. We'll see what Carthage chooses to do. We have got an axe coming up here, dealing some damage to that little spear. So, if he can convince Carthage to back off, maybe that's possible.
Yeah. Look at all this beautiful damage you could do on these slingers out in the open, though. It's crazy. This is why I really want to see that ballista chariot combo, because literally just one ballista shot down a line of units could let your chariot mop them all up out in the open. Get 3 kills, basically, for 2 units attacking. Crazy. Crazy combination. And not one that I think we've seen so far yet. We've seen ballistas, but I don't think we've seen ballistas enabling route chains.
Yes, I can't remember seeing that either. All right, well, let's go back to Carthage and see what their answer to that is now.
All
So
right.
he lost a spearman and a slinger that turn.
Elephant is in range to participate in this combat now, and it is an African elephant, so this is a routing ability.
Yeah, and he could in fact get in and start attacking the axe there and start routing through these group of 4 units up here, which is another option. I imagine he can kill all of those things if he wants to.
Yep. Yep.
Not necessarily the best idea. I might take out the light chariot in preference, but maybe.
Yep.
I don't know. Taking out 4 units has got to be worthwhile though, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's all about trading kills. It's like it doesn't really matter if you're losing units as long as your opponent's losing more units than you are. So yeah, if I have the choice between killing one really strong unit or killing 4 units, then I probably would take 4 units.
Especially as both those axes there means that his one remaining zealot spear is going to be a lot safer.
Yes.
See, we're going for an axe and a chariot.
Okay.
Can you see a
Interesting.
route from the chariots?
Interesting.
Really love to see that elephant come up and do the routing.
I haven't seen much effective use of flanking in this match, despite both players having decent opportunities, tactically speaking.
Yeah, because this chariot here is a rider's chariot that does have saddle bond. The elephant isn't, sadly.
Yeah. They're the river on the other side of the archer, so I understand not going behind in this case. You would lose.
That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question, actually. I guess when I guess that chariot must have been a rider chariot initially. No, yeah, maybe. But I'm not sure what family converted units get assigned to.
I know if you convert them inside your territory, they will convert to whatever family the territory is. I don't know what happens when they convert outside.
Yeah, so obviously this one was a conversion outside, and it's gone to the Riders family, which is of course shared between both Jams and Marauder. They both have Riders families, so maybe that makes some kind of sense. But yeah, I'm not sure what the rule is there.
I would suspect if they share families, maybe it will stay in the family, and if they don't, maybe it becomes like a non-family unit.
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed, to be honest. If I would have guessed that they would always become a non-family unit. But that's
Yeah, no,
not
I actually would
okay.
have. I think I was under the impression that they are all non-family units until I noticed that I ended up getting Sentinel on a bunch of Statesman longbows.
Right, well, now that's slightly different because the Sentinel is a unit effect that is applied to the unit that will always stay regardless of what family they are.
Right.
And I guess Saddleborn is the same thing, but I mean, even regardless of that, this is still a rider's chariot for Carthage.
All right, we have plenty of training. It looks like he is going to attempt to go for this route here.
Oh, he's 1 damage short of a route with the elephant at the moment on that axe.
We have a slinger in the area to do that, so we could.
He's only got 2 orders left unless he buys a lot of orders.
Yep, he would have to buy 1, 2, 3, 4,
Slingers come
5, at least 5 orders. 6, at least 6.
He has taken the attack with the slinger, so he could.
Yep.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Yep.
Love it. Very expensive attack in training there if he's buying that many orders. Could have rushed a unit with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he's a zealot.
Yeah.
Wild.
Sure
Wild.
that's the best thing to be doing, just to get 1 route and another attack, maybe.
That's the other thing. You get this route chain, right? But then you have to pay an order for every time you want to keep going. Very expensive route chain. Of course, you will only kill the 1 unit, too.
Unfortunate, but yes, he has at least got a couple of kills, so this is his best turn of the combat so far, I believe.
For sure, yeah. This is, it's unfortunate, because really, Jams could have had a banger of a turn last turn, but, and prevented some of this bloodshed, but here we are. And now we will be headed back to Jams and seeing how he reacts to the tactical situation before him. He does have opportunity to do some serious damage with this ballista. I mean, if now is not the time, then I'm not sure when the time will be.
Yeah, he really needs to use it at some point, right?
Yeah.
What can we do here?
Still overall larger fall on military score for Carthage compared to Egypt. So
So
potentially salvable situation.
I think maybe no. The ballista only does 4 damage to the elephant. It's probably not worth trying to pierce through him. That's only a 2 damage pierce.
I think the play might still be. Oh, he can't even rush up here anymore. He can't get to. I was going to suggest maybe that he'll go down this line, still
He can
take
get
out that spear.
some good routes in, I suppose. Maybe take out a few slingers, get
Yeah.
some damage on the African elephant. But he is running out of chariots now. Is a problem. Well, he's
Well,
got another one coming out of Worcester next turn, I suppose.
yeah, and then the other issue we're facing tactically now is compared to just a turn or two ago, right? Carthage's army was all out here, all out in the open, right? Now the majority of Carthage's army is in scrub. Our units are chariots, our units are ranged, so he has better defensive positioning in this location just because the battle shifted just a couple of tiles.
So he's taken a kill with an axe and the light chariot on an axe. It looks like he's still not thinking in terms of routes.
Yeah.
If we could still see a route from after a ballista attack, but yeah, you might as well have got some damage on the axe first with the chariot if you were going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine it has to happen because literally once he decides to pull the trigger on this ballista, whatever he attacks is going to be dead. So she just needs to pick a target at this point.
Yeah. And make it a good turn, of course, because yeah, his ballista will die the following turn.
It's possible. Well, now that elephant caught up to the field, yes, it's much more likely. That's the other issue about the fact that we didn't go in on this a little bit sooner is not that Jams could have predicted this. Although, actually, he has enough vision back here to have seen the elephant making its way across the field.
The militia are going in bravely.
All right. Body blockers, love to see it. Oh, we're not. Okay.
What? The ballista is attacking the chariot.
Unfortunate.
Wow.
Unfortunate.
So yeah, ballista gets 100% attack against infantry units, but it does not get any bonus against mounted. So that seems a little bit of a waste.
Now, I mean, the only bright side of that is that I guess a little bit better protected. However, this elephant's going to come in and smash through militia.
Yeah, that's the set himself up for a beautiful route chain there.
Oh yeah, the elephant can even come across the river. He doesn't even need to go for the militia. He can just kill this axe. Yeah, I think this is going to be the fall of Egypt in the next couple of turns.
Definitely looking a little bit dodgy here. Yeah, he's set himself out for a route there. I mean, he's killed the chariot, I suppose, so that's one less routing unit. But yeah, this elephant is the problem now.
Yeah, well, the issue with that, the last couple of turns when we, killed a chariot here or there, is like, well, those were our chariots that he had listed. So it's like we're just kind of climbing out of a hole, which is unfortunate, as opposed to taking real serious kill potential by getting like solid routes. But yes, of course. I mean, the chariot is one of the other big threats to this ballista, so getting it off the field is a good thing to do, of course.
So Jams is looking a little bit order-starved now.
Yeah.
It's one of the problems with moving these militia up. We spent 4 orders each on moving and attacking with their militias for not an awful lot of benefit. And now you're going to struggle to actually use the rest of your units. Not that he has that many. He's actually retreating the chariot here.
Unfortunate. Yeah. I think this is one thing, I think there are lots of lessons to be learned through our losses, and I think there's also lots of lessons that we can convey to those who watch these on YouTube or live with us now about the tactics in these types of matches, the elimination matches in particular. And I think this is proving to be one of the consistent ones where I think some players try to save their units too much. I mean, of course, tactical retreating has huge benefits, like knowing when to back off and knowing when to save your units. But when you're in the thick of a battle here and you're hanging on for the life of the game, really, it's like, well, you just need to go full force and take every kill you can get, and if you trade a unit to get 2 kills, well, then that's worth it.
Yep.
All right, back to Carthage.
Just having a look what the route chain could do. Presumably, he could actually come all the way back to this archer, route for the archer, and then the damaged axe.
Oh my goodness.
And a militia and some ballistas. The ballista, I guess, is going to be the tricky thing to do. The elephant can only do 8 damage to that, so he'd need to be able to get the rest of the damage on that ballista, which is
I'm seeing
certainly not impossible.
12 damage from the elephant on the ballista.
Yes, sorry, did I not say that? He will need another 8 damage.
Oh, he'll need another. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna go this way, I would go from the back, because you put 10 damage on this archer back here. You get the archer, you get the axe guaranteed. Get another 8 damage on the ballista. And then, just 2 damage on the militia. And then kill this. Like, if you can get all 5 of these units, the game is over.
Yeah, see, this archer is actually quite well protected, surrounded by river on a scrub hill.
Right.
It's not very easy to take down. He can do it, but he'll need almost everything that is in the area there to do it with.
Right. That's why I would just
not an efficient way of doing it.
Yeah, that's why I just go from behind. Like, at the very least, you could literally just get to this axe right now. So you just need to figure out how you're gonna kill the ballista, which with slingers in the region, you can get 8 damage on that, no problem.
So it looks like he's going for the militia. Yeah, he's somewhat inefficiently killing that militia with 2 slingers, but he can now route through it. So that is something.
Okay. One thing I noticed just now, we have only 32 civics away from another possible enlist. I wonder if Marauder, I didn't check, but I wonder if Marauder tried to cancel everything to force the getting enough civics, because that's certainly one thing you can do on your turn. If in these battles you can swap your production to council to try and enlist a high target.
Oh no, I think he's mucked that up there. He could have got the spear in there to do enough damage to that ballista. I guess he still can actually, because there's no zone of control there.
Yeah, he's gonna be able. He's gonna get this kill. Yep.
Fair enough.
All right. And in fact, yeah, this is it. I think this is the end for Egypt here. Unfortunate.
Certainly not looking good.
Definitely an exciting battle. Interesting opportunities for both sides. But it seems Marauder is taking the field. Oh, beautiful.
Nice. 4 kills. Not too shabby at all.
I should have been more zoomed in on this. Fantastic.
Oh, and he got the achievement for 5 routes as well.
Oh, he got an achievement? That's fantastic. Great. Great. Devastating blow.
That's got to be a morale blow for Jam, certainly. Military score, they're actually still not that far behind, although I guess maybe that graph hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah, it won't catch up. I forget who's first player. I think it might be Carthage, so it might take a whole turn.
Yeah, it's Carthage.
All right. Well, that was awesome.
Good to see. Yeah, there's definitely some back and forwards there in that match, and a few misplays here and there. But yeah, looks like Carthage has managed to grab the upper hand here. I mean, what's got left? We've got 2 archers, an axe, 2 chariots. See, he could, and he's still got the light chariot as well, so he could. In fact, he's got 3 archers, so Egypt still has a force here. He could still do some damage.
Carthage just got the epigraphic reforms event, which comes off of building a temple, so it triggered when he built his Jebel Barkal, which actually gave him another like 500 civics. So he could have enlisted the ballista there if he did his events first.
Oh man, but that would have stopped the route chain.
No, it would have, but I don't think I would care personally.
Yeah, fair. Sino says, "Is Carthage bringing in reinforcements? The attacking force looks spent." He is definitely getting a little bit low on units. There are some people coming forward. It's not an awful lot of people.
Which is what makes
If
the
you,
tactics so unfortunate here, because honestly, I think with a couple of stronger kill turns, I think Jams really could have repelled this, considering what we're looking at now.
yeah, because what can Jams do now? Let's have a look. So he's killing the spear by the looks of it.
Yeah, which is great. Great, get that.
I'd
It,
love to see that elephant die as well.
yeah,
Presumably,
it should be able to.
he has the power to do it easily.
Yep. So that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, if you could have gotten a situation like this with your ballista still alive, I think that would have been a much stronger position for you to be in long term. And we're facing the same issue down here with the walls. If you're watching, again, same type of dynamic where this isn't going to help you long term. You need more units in the field. You need them now.
So yeah, Carthage has 5 slingers left on the front line
Wow.
versus 3 chariots, a light chariot, 3 archers, and axe.
Yeah, so this attack is still repelled, actually. Kudos to Jam for sticking into it.
I certainly would not have thought that. It did not look like he was going to be able to deal with that. But yeah, well played.
I actually really like this game because even though spears have been here, like there's only been 2, right? But this is really showing. I think some players are avoiding building chariots entirely for fear of confronting spears inevitably. But this battle itself and this fight between Jams and Marauder for the entire game has really highlighted the strength of chariots, because even just out in the open here, they do so much damage to these slingers.
Interestingly, Jams has just upgraded another couple of workers to militias.
That's unfortunate.
It is a little bit unfortunate, given that he's probably held the day here, that he's just completely killing his long-term development potential now.
Yeah, he has an axe rebel down in Madhu, which is unfortunate as well. I don't know how that must have come from an event, or maybe his opinion was worse a second ago, because his Sage's opinion is fine.
Outrage in Madhu, yeah, there's an event.
Must have been an event, yeah. Outrage, yeah. Intolerant and 5 discontent. Fun.
So yeah, really, I think what I'd love to see at this point is Carthage. It looks like Carthage are building at least a couple more military units at the front line, but really Carthage just needs to put their entire empire into military and finish this off now, because at the moment they're losing this battle, even if only just, and this game could limp on for quite a bit longer, I think.
Yes, and that's one of those things about tempo too. It's like we had a strong attack here from Carthage, strong potential, but it would go better if you had a road network through your entire empire, which Marauder does not. And then if all of your build queues this entire time throughout the course of this battle were building units, yes, and that's another thing about, exchanging losses. It's like, yes, you're going to lose 3, 4, maybe even 5 units, but if you have another 5 units on the way, then it doesn't matter.
For sure.
Yeah, we need a trader. Do we have traders here? We don't have traders, but we need a worker chain happening to get a road online. Just stack these 3 warriors from the capital together and just route straight to Egypt. Not road.
So we still only have 2 laws active on both nations. Neither nation is particularly close to a UU. Carthage has another law available. They still have not enacted slavery or freedom, but they absolutely could do. They have the civics for it. It looks like Carthage might be backing off a bit.
Yeah, they're definitely getting retreat mode. So, long term, however, the issue for Jams now is he has successfully staved off this attack, but if we look at the science production, there is a massive gap between Jams and Carthage at this point. So I think, while basically one of the things that led Jams to a successful defense here was his technological superiority. He had axes, he had archers, he had horses against an army that was just basically mostly slingers and spears. So that's going to win you the day for sure, but then Jams could come back in another 20 or 30, Marauder could come back in another 30 or 20 turns, and he's got battle line coming done in 3 turns. So there's going to be Macemen soon.
Yes, and then he could actually put the Civic stockpile into rushing a load of Macemen once they come out, and then he's going to be in a much stronger position. He will still have to face the chariots as well, so he will want some spears. Marauder is still advancing units. He's got a spear coming forwards.
And
He's taken a kill on an axe with these slingers, but these slingers look like they really ought to be all getting routed next turn, these slingers now.
I would really like to see that. I don't think we've seen a major rout from Jams yet, but hopefully the elephant doing some damage to him last turn will kind of poke Jams a little bit and remind him that he has some strong rout potential in the field.
Yeah, and there's no zealot generals to mess him up now. They're all just bear slingers here.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, for Carthage, one other thing that we could do that would really, I think, put the nail in the coffin for Jams in terms of long-term targets, tech-wise. He has nearly 100 science rate per turn. We're getting battle line. We have, admittedly, a large draw pile, but once you cycle that, you're probably only about 20 or 25 turns or less, give or take, from infantry square if you want it, and you just want to have pikes be your 8th strength unit that you use to kill Egypt.
Yeah, for sure. That is probably going to be quicker at this point than trying to get 7 laws.
Yeah.
And then building all the requisite infrastructure for that. And then, you could get all your cities spamming out pikemen.
And it would be the clear counter to, even if Egypt managed to get 7 laws in that time frame, you're now having pikes against a horse unique unit.
Spikes works too, yeah.
spikes on pikes.
Unpleasant. It would definitely be unpleasant to deal with.
Yeah. Yep. We have another law accessible for... Oh, we still don't... Oh my god, we still do not have slavery or freedom on Carthage. Wild.
I mean, to be honest, at this point, maybe he's better off saving the civics for rushing. Nah, he's probably not. We're talking about 1 mace, right? Versus a lot of iron. He's actually quite short on iron.
Yeah,
so he's got a decent amount of other resources. He can afford to buy a lot of iron if he needs to. But over the... I think you said it was 15 turns, and that was like 7 turns ago. So it's over 20 turns he's spent not being in slavery now.
Yeah, he unlocked it, and I'm going to assume, we can't say for sure, but since he's Carthage, I'm going to assume he had at least close to the civics to adopt it on the turn that he researched it, and he researched labor force on turn 40. So it's been about 20 turns, since.
Yes, we're talking about 600 iron and stone each.
Incredible. Like, and I'm someone who doesn't mind going freedom first for a little bit and, getting rid of that stone income. But eventually, once you're looking at 5, 6, 7 cities, I mean, you swap to slavery and you just rake in the income.
Sure, right, okay. It looks like Carthage has ended their turn with 4 seconds remaining.
All right.
So we're back to Egypt.
Time for Egypt to clean this up. Question from chat asking if Carthage is bringing any reinforcements. Yes, we have some spears coming up. These tribals have even moved a little bit, but I really think that Carthage is going to just get smacked down here. Let's take a look at this military score. Yeah, wow, huge, massive dip of military from Carthage.
Yeah, still considerably ahead of Egypt, but hopefully with a good route this turn, that might even out this turn. And I think Carthage has to back off and regroup now, surely.
Yeah, and this is actually a great example, I think, of kind of what we were talking about this idea of like, when do you go in, when do you hit the gas, when do you wait, all these different things, because this is an example of a failed assault, which now, I mean, this isn't to say that Jams can necessarily win purely from this victory, but it does give Jams more time to get back into the game. And so if Jams if the science between both nations were reversed right now, because let's say he had just a booming mega city, generating 50 science per turn, that's how you can lose games. You can lose games by losing assaults like this, early assaults. All right, we do have a route.
Well, is it though? He spent quite a lot of attacking that lone slinger.
Oh, come on. Come on. Come on.
No!
Wrong direction. Wrong direction.
It's a bad Jams.
Jams. Okay, well, we're going to get 2. We're getting 2, at least 2. Maybe 3.
Ah, man. Yeah. All right. So he's killed
Yes.
3 units there. He could have
Yes.
killed at least 4, but sure.
Bring this archer up. Keep going. Bring this archer up. Not going to be able to kill it, but you can maybe try and zock it. Put this archer on this hill, maybe. How far are my opponents? No, that would, I guess, just get your archer killed. All right, we're going to heal it up. Okay. I think he could have killed this whole stack in the woods and then left the lone slinger.
Yeah. He could have killed 4 easily. I mean, he's killed 3, so
Yeah.
fine. It's okay. But yeah.
But, I mean, just for those watching, a little bit of a tactical tip. The other thing is, like, if you went for the 4 units in this spot and you managed to kill all 4 of them, it's like, sure, you have a slinger out here in your territory that's by itself, but it's by itself. It's not, you'll just kill it next turn. So that actually...
Yeah, exactly. He can't run away, not without spending a ludicrous amount of orders on a force marching it away.
Right, so it's
Even then, it probably couldn't get far enough to be safe.
Right. But, I mean, still, well done. I'm really pleased that this attack was repelled at all. It would have been nice if we could have had the ballista survive for Egypt. That's certainly a huge loss. But, I mean, Jams is still in the game for now. And we have Portcullis coming online, which honestly excites me. We have not seen much from Portcullis in the tournament so far. So
what is Jams going to do with Portcullis?
Well, hopefully he has a character that will help him catch up on some science. And let's see what do we have for science over here. We don't really have any high science cities that will make any good agents. However, I just like the idea of establishing a couple agent networks and getting clear, unobstructed vision of your opponent.
Yeah, I mean, vision is definitely nice. It's very handy if you're planning an assault for a start. It's not quite so good if you're on the defensive.
No.
Jams just lost his chariot there, so Carthage has moved in and with the spear and taken the kill there.
It's unfortunate.
It's going to be awkward to deal with in the forest. It doesn't look like Marauder's giving up here. He is still pushing forward. Some fair play to him. Yeah. That is a nice position for Marauder to be in. The attack is not yet over.
Yeah, certainly he loses nothing from just staging in these woods because it will take so much effort to kill stuff, and these spears will really make short work of those chariots. It's unfortunate that one unfortunate thing about Jams opting for Portcullis in his current situation is that battle line was in his hand.
Right, battle line would have been much more immediately useful. Yeah. So Portcullis. So what can he get out of Portcullis? So he can get a spy master. He can get agents. So that's a little bit more science. I don't think he has any amazing spy master candidates, but he's got a few 4 wisdom people. He can get 6 science turn out of them. Let's say he got a couple of agents in Carthage cities that gets him maybe another, say, 10 science, being generous.
Yeah,
that's still a 400 science investment. That's going to take quite a long time to pay back, and I don't think Jams is far enough ahead to be able to afford that.
Yeah, and let's take a look. The only other kind of bonus of that grab, I would say, is he's quite a ways away from machinery, and he could snag that free onager, and that could be handy on the defense. Would have been nice.
It would help a little bit on defense, admittedly, but yeah, 1 onager is nowhere near as good as many onagers, that's for sure.
Of course. And of course, I mean, if he gets really lucky with the free draws, he could get both an onager and a free maceman without needing to be... He's pretty far... Oh, no, he has battle line. He could have just get his own maceman. That's silly.
Yeah. No, I think at this point 3 units are not gonna save the day for him. So yeah, I don't love the Portcullis draw there.
Yes.
Sino points out, well, Jams' axe is dead. His army has absolutely no killing power against spears in the woods. Indeed. It's a very strong position for Marauder to be in. He's just reassigned his leader onto his spear that's a little bit further back. So that's going to be have the potential for some more conversions.
We do have a rushed axeman in Wasset, so he's seeing that deficit that he's dealing with.
Good.
And we have 3 turns. Yeah, we have 3 turns in Icon, another axeman. This actually I like. This is great. This means he swapped out from the walls that he was working on, which is the correct play there.
Where was he building a wall?
He was building a wall in Icon. He had queued up a wall.
Right. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yes, no progress yet, but it's still in the queue. Okie dokie. Well, twists and turns. So yeah, Carthage still has 1,000 civics in the bank.
Wow.
So it looks like they are still resolutely saving for conversions. They're decided they've got a zealot, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I definitely do think that makes sense in this case. Would have been like to have the slavery income, for a while now, but we don't. So, I mean, if we're in the middle of a fight, might as well just keep the civics banks full and keep your ability to swing the momentum in your favor high.
Yeah, I mean, and there is an argument for it. He has resources, he has money, he can sell stuff for Ryan if he needs it. He doesn't need slavery, certainly not right now. And might as well focus on short-term gains. If he's still, I wonder if Marauder is thinking he can win this game quickly at this point, but it doesn't look like he will be able to close it out very quickly. But I imagine that's still probably the best play is to push for closing the game out as quickly as you
Yeah.
can.
The vibe I've gotten from Marauder from his first game and into now is he seems to have the play style of a very blunt object where he just gonna hammer his opponent until they submit, which can work in some cases. In his first match, his opponent managed to outlast because again this is an elimination match and both of our players have lost their first match. But it definitely was. There was a moment in that first match where things were looking tense for his opponent.
Do you recall who Marauder was playing against? I don't offhand.
He was playing Yagman.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Yagman, a very good match. Yagman built up a very strong economy and was able to outlast the brute force of Marauder. And that's the only situation that I'm not 100% sure about Egypt in this case. His economy is pretty strong. He's got decent incomes, massive stockpiles, but my big concern here long term is the science rate. With such a wide science gap between both opponents, even if Marauder just continues to cudgel Egypt, effectively throwing units away, eventually Marauder's units are going to get stronger and stronger by sheer momentum in the tech tree. He's just a few turns away from Maceman.
Yeah, and just the number of cities, of course. Jams is 5 cities to Marauder's 8, so
yeah,
he just has more build queue time.
And that's the other thing that's going to keep this gap, this divide growing, I suppose, is even though it might not be the most efficient use of orders, one might say, for Marauder, by keeping this level of aggression up, it basically forces Jams into a position where all he can just do is keep building military units.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah, he's got 3 workers left in his empire now.
Yeah. And he was forced to upgrade, whether he needed to or not. He certainly chose to do that. So it's like, yeah, there's certainly economic implications of this aggression.
Yeah, so Carthage has now got 10 workers to Jams's 3.
Wow, yeah. And that's one of my favorite things about this game too. I think it really does model like things like attrition well without actually having an attrition mechanic. Like there's no intrinsic mechanic where the game taxes your economy or taxes your unit health or anything like that, like to create this concept of like, oh, this is what attrition is. But yet you can totally lose a war or a game solely because of attrition.
So chat is asking about order advantage. So both nations are very much neck and neck. They're both putting in 32 orders a turn. They have been pretty much even throughout the entire game. Marauder is running Decree 3 in his statesman seat, so he is pulling in another 12 orders? 9 orders every
5-ish turns.
Yeah, so that's not. Yeah, it's a couple more a turn. It's not a huge difference.
Oh, you know what's interesting about this? Portcullis, he already has, because of the Oracle, he already has agent network. So yeah, we're looking at a potential 5 science coming in from the statesman seat once it's ready, 3 from the capital, and then he could get 2 more networks set up if he wants. Although he doesn't.
Okay, fair enough. I maybe Well, I mean, it's still a small amount of science for the
Yeah.
investment.
Yeah,
But,
no, I'm not saying it's worth it, but I'm saying it's a nice synergy to that now that it's
yes,
coming down the pipeline anyway, right?
indeed, and that may well be what he's thinking about. And
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
Um,
Oh, we're seeing a lot more Carthaginian units popping up now. We've got a couple of axes. We've got some more tribal units converging.
one thing I want to call attention
Finally
to.
started building some roads from Tingis.
Oh, great. Wait, Jams or Marauder?
Marauder.
Finally. Great. Roads. Yeah, just to highlight this again, this military score from that last battle actually got Egypt and Carthage back to similar, back like neck and neck in terms of power. So that really was just a massive defeat for Marauder. It's really interesting to see that he's just going back at it, keeping his unit staged in the area. I'd be curious.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
mean,
ask.
I think that's the play, because what else is Marauder going to do with his units? There's no other tribal units to kill.
Exactly.
It's
Now
just
I'm
defend, yeah.
curious. Does a situation like this, if Carthage manages to suffer a similar defeat again, let's say in the next 5 or 10 turns, and that therefore would put him, weaker than Jams at this point. Do you think there's a scenario where Jams could actually start aggressing despite the differences in advantages here?
I mean, I suppose it's possible, right? So he's got the orders to do it. If somehow he managed to wipe out all of the Carthaginian troops here in a stunning military victory, with enough troops left on his side to make a push,
Yeah.
and Carthage didn't immediately rush and reinforce with more units, which he does have the potential to do, then he could push forward. I think the fact that Carthage is about to hit maces and could start rushing maces out of Tingis if he really wanted to,
Yeah.
would make it tricky for him.
Yeah, and that would be worth it. I would prefer that probably over anything I could enlist at this point, with the exception of the light chariot.
Yeah, I mean, Egypt certainly doesn't have a lot of units left. It certainly doesn't have a lot of highly promoted units. We've got a chariot with Heckler.
Yeah.
Chariot with Heckler and Strike. Is that his only? And there's an archer with focus. Oh, and the light chariot's got a couple of motions as well. He's got Eagle Eye and Tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Eagle Eye is fantastic on those things. I love Eagle Eye chariots, light chariots.
Yeah. Eagle Eye on an arch and Shidette, so that would be quite nice for defending Shidette as well, definitely. So yeah, he's got something, but yeah, a lot of his troops here are just green and not really that worthwhile for conversion. Yeah, Maceman I think is the play rather than a conversion at this point. Apart from as the light chariot is still worth getting for sure.
Yeah, I think honestly, judging by the fact that Tink is building a spear right now, I suspect that rushing out an immediate macement from that location is probably not on Marauder's mind just yet.
No, I think he is very, as I said earlier, he's very much focused on converting units. But I think you've got to weigh up the battlefield and what's there versus what else you can do with your civics, and at some point decide, actually, it's not really worth it.
And that's one of my favorite things tactically about this game. There's just so many. There's like a constant stream of interesting decisions you can make. There's so many different ways to tackle the puzzle of just something as simple of how do I invade this stupid city and kill my opponent?
Yeah, and fascinatingly, despite the fact that we both mocked it at the time, Shidette is going to get its walls out. It might actually be relevant.
You know what? That's actually a fair point. Fair point. Foot and mouth on that one. Especially because right now, while he's aggressing towards the city, he's seeing like, oh, I could do enough. Like I could do 2 damage with a slinger. Enough slinger on the hill, no big deal, right? But then in one turn, his math is going to be completely off on that location, which is probably the real benefit to that. I wonder if there's a cheeky play to getting like walls most of the way finished and then just hanging them in the build queue for a while and like let them decay a turn or two, and then just bringing them back as soon as your opponent's army is nearby.
I love it. Yes, maybe we'll have to get the math quite precise on that one, so you don't suddenly get the city damaged in a surprise attack, and suddenly you're 2 turns away instead of one. But yeah. Oh, we're seeing a 13-turn slinger at Madhu, so he has decided that building military units in Madhu is a good idea, even with 4.4 training.
Good. Love to see it. I think I would prefer that, especially since you're gonna. I suspect you're gonna acknowledge the fact that you have to rush something, right? You should have this queue be building your most expensive unit. That's another thing for those of you watching. If you're forced in a situation like this, where like you have the estate, you don't have good training, so you're going to rush a unit anyway, and you're going to put some unit points of production in it. Just build the most expensive, the longest thing you can buy, and that way, when you're ready to rush it, you get the most value for the time spent.
Makes sense. Interesting. Jams is moving his units up towards these barbarians now, or at least a chariot.
Wow, I mean,
Is it time to go and settle the site finally?
that's bold to think he has time to do that, considering the pressure. But I mean, I definitely don't hate the idea of bringing in another city. He sure needs it. But I mean, now Carthage has eyes in those woods, and I feel like
Yeah.
you should assume that Carthage has eyes in your woods. Um, so I mean, he is chopping though. I mean, I like to see all of this chopping. One of the value of that is to try and deny vision, but
Yeah. Yeah, so I think this it's worth talking about this barbarian site in the back line here. So, I mean, there is an argument to say, well, the barbarians don't raid, so he can just leave them here forever.
yes,
They're not going to have bothered him.
and
But on the other hand, it's a city that you need. You need as many cities as you can, at least on a small map like this, where you're fairly limited on city sites here. And yeah,
yeah.
not having cleared this like at least 30 turns ago is a massive demerit for Egypt here.
Well, and see, I think that's what happened, right? It's like you're in that situation where it's just a barbarian camp. It can't raid, and there was pressure. You know, Egypt did settle the city in the center, so he was expanding towards his opponent, got all these cities. He's also ended up being behind in expansion, and then eventually Marauder does what Marauder does and started bashing away at Jams and has basically been aggressing against Jams nonstop since the beginning of the conflict at Shashotep. So I feel like there just hasn't been an opportunity to go north and take that site once you kind of lost that momentum. But he does look
Yeah, and I
committed.
think that's
There's three
it's
units up
definitely
there.
an interesting conflict between rushing to settle the centre and making sure your backline gets settled. So I would say definitely before this tournament started, I would have said definitely go and settle the centre first. Yes, rush forward to take all the opponent, take all the territory you can from your opponent. Worry about the backline later. But I think we saw in my first tournament game, my opponent tried to rush the centre, left their backline, and that massively caused them problems. And I think it's you do need to at some point be able to secure your backline. Even if you take the centre, and maybe it is worth actually making sure you can do that first.
I agree.
Huge.
Actually, I even have like pre-tournament anecdotes. I've actually been beginning to formulate that opinion because in quite a few of our games, I've out-expanded you, or I've expanded rapidly, or I secured a strategic center. But of course, you're a highly skilled opponent, and I end up losing anyway. But then it really has formulated the thought process of kind of wondering: is rushing for the center of the map in these types of duels a bit of a trap because you kind of potentially extend yourself while your opponent is kind of consolidating their base, and then you get left in this situation where it's like you're in a tense conflict with somebody and you have all like in this case it's a barbarian, but in other games it's like maybe you get a raid from somebody from a site that you didn't clear, and now you're in the middle of a fight on your front line while you have 3 units coming towards your capital that you just don't have the time to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's clearly a lot worse if it is a tribe and they are raiding you. That's a terrible position to be in. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could say the argument if Jams had managed to hold the centre here, then maybe that's worth giving up this backline city for because it'd still
Sure.
be on the same amount of cities. It's just obviously he lost the conflict there. So I suppose really if you can hold the centre, then it's worth taking,
Right.
and it doesn't massively compromise your backline. But yeah, it does put you more at risk. And yeah, if your opponent can test it well, then that's a problem.
And we have seen that pay off. You know, we saw that surprise upset in one of the very first games of the tournament, and one of the plays in that game was one of the players like forced marched a settler into the center of the map, into a location that, you know, everyone who was watching that game who had experience said, well, he's definitely going to lose that city now. Everyone was like, well, that's gone. And then he held the city for the entire game. And not only did he hold the city, he won. So, of course, as with anything in this game, it's hard to say what is or isn't the correct play. But I definitely agree with you. I'm beginning to feel the sentiment more and more that maybe rushing for the center isn't always necessarily the best play. And I think consolidating your homeland has a lot of good benefits to it.
For sure. So just to catch up on the action here, because we've kind of been ignoring the game a little bit here. So Carthage is still advancing units. Loads of people in the woods now. There's just occupying this massively. He has just upgraded a unit to a mace at Tingis. Still working on roads coming forwards. And yeah, some more units that are warrior just been healed at Panormus. Presumably that's going to be upgraded to a mace next turn as well.
Still
And
no
yeah,
roads
I'd
from the
say
back line, unfortunately, which is a little upsetting.
it's a shame, but I mean, to be honest, at this point, I guess if you're limited on orders, you're probably better off just manoeuvring people at the front. I wonder if he will build more roads at the back now he has finished moving his units at the front, and doesn't need to spend orders on them, assuming he's content to stay where he is and not actually push an attack. But we will see. We will see.
We're seeing priests in these cities too. We have an apprentice priest in Thanai and an apprentice priest down in the state seat, which I find interesting. All the way to an elder officer up in the artisans. That's interests me as well.
What the thought process there is.
I mean, I guess science is science.
Yeah, long term it will serve him well, certainly. But it suggests to me he's not thinking he's going to close out this game quickly, which to me it's kind of looking like he will. But then again, it looked like he would at the start of this session, and that's not been the case.
And that's where it all comes.
I guess you want to plan for both situations, really, don't you? You don't want to put everything in the short term and completely neglect your long term, just in case.
Right. Yeah, and that comes back to a little bit of like what we're saying with like build queues in general. Like, I definitely think, even though the battle didn't go his way, Marauder had the potential to close out this game at some point. And I think part of that was the fact that all of his queues have not been basically matching his pace here and building units to reinforce to supplement his losses.
Interestingly, looking at the military graph, Carthage has a slight lead over Egypt, but only quite slight. You wouldn't think it looking at the troop positioning, but yeah, they're still pretty even militarily speaking.
Yeah. Well, some of those points for Egypt are at least 2 militia, so.
Yeah. Oh, crit from the archer dealing with his rebel.
Very nice. Nice to get rid of that problem. And our opinion's still decent enough in Egypt, so that should be the last of the rebels. I should say kudos to Mohawk, by the way, because I griped a little bit about the rebels change once I noticed the disconsent thing. I actually think the marauding, pillaging rebels is actually much nicer. So kudos to you guys for coming up with that idea.
Marvelous. Thank you for the vote of confidence. That's much appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's the idea is just to make them less predictable, right? You don't want to be able to always say, okay, this barbarian unit is definitely going to make this move, so I can just ignore it because I know it's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, does that introducing a bit more variety, I think, helps.
While
so yeah, I just wanted to point out the slight misplay on Egypt's part there. He moved up all his units to deal with this rebel, and then got a crit with the archer and didn't actually need that axe. So he wasted a couple of orders maneuvering that axe that he really didn't need to. So unless you're getting adjacency bonuses or flanking bonuses, I'd say it's better to just take the attacks with the units that are in range before moving more units into range.
I agree.
Just because of that kind of possibility.
And another issue we have up here in Egypt is that he has this staging force in these woods, which of course he can't do anything about because they're all in the woods. But I'm surprised to see that the chariot force has continued to advance towards the camp.
I kind of love that actually. I think that's fantastic. It's like Jams knows he can't do anything about these military. He also knows that the military doesn't want to move out of its nice little protected location, and he does now have the walls in Shiret as well, so that city
Yeah.
can hold isn't going to immediately fall. So I think you might as well get
Use
those
them if you got
military
them,
doing
right?
something useful. I mean, it does leave him in a slightly awkward position with damaged units if Carthage does attack. But yeah, I think go for it.
I suppose the other side of that too is they are all mounted, so if they have to come back to the battlefield, they'll have a quick time. It'll be quick.
Ooh, interesting. We see Marauder moving a Maceman up northwards over the marshland here.
Love it. Very cool.
Probably not something Jams would be expecting, although he does have vision on that, so
Yeah,
he
he can
see
see
that
it.
happening.
Yeah, that just revealed itself. But still, definitely going to signal more and more that he's a little bit in trouble here. He is going
Yes,
for this
is
walled city, though, so I wonder if he noticed the walls already. He must have if he's doing any damage calculations.
very aggressive posturing, definitely, from Carthage.
This is
And
one of
it's
those... Go ahead.
actually quite a hard city to assault, right? Because of these rivers here. You
Yeah.
really want more ranged units, despite the fact that Carthage was almost entirely a slinger army a little while back. It's
It's
lost a
actually
lot of them.
wild.
He's mainly melee now.
It's wild to see that shift. In fact, yeah, they had like a dozen slingers, and now they just have 2.
But yeah, Icon just looks like a way better target than Shadette to me. I mean, for a start, it's got all that development. It's got all the improvements there. It hasn't got its walls up yet. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he's decided he wants Shadette over Icon.
So this is actually interesting too, because now, despite what I've said about walls a couple of times, now that Marauder's going towards the walled city, it might actually be a decent opportunity to get walls in Icon, because if you can repel this top attack, that might force Marauder to kind of go back to Icon, and if the walls are finished by the time he goes back to Icon, then he's just like ping-ponging between 2 cities that he can't take.
Yeah, and this is the advantage of vision, of course, which is definitely another reason to take portcullis, is that getting vision in your opponent's cities, seeing what they're building, what they have built is obviously very useful indeed.
Yep. We do have a chariot back in the capital, although I don't think, Jams can't see that yet, but he will be able to see that in just 5 more turns, or 4 more turns.
Right, yeah, so Carthage is taking composite bow at the moment, so they're going to be upgrading to archers, possibly getting a free ballista as well coming out.
Yeah.
That should definitely be very helpful for them. Yeah, Carthage definitely could use some more ranged units at the moment. We have got another mate upgrade. Their melee game is looking pretty strong, but yeah, some more ranged support would be very useful here.
Yep, another chariot coming out in 9 turns, spear coming out in 2. Would like to see more military. Although, you know what? Another thing that might be informing these... Well, no, he does have an estate up in Thanai, so he probably, I understand, just doing specialists up here, because the estate really cramps your style. Although he's a zealot, he can rush everything.
Yes, indeed, and he
doesn't even need civics to rush. He could just...
does have a decent amount of training as well, so yeah.
Yeah, he could just rush a Maceman out right now. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I feel like banking all this training in civics, while nice to have, could have been better spent at the moment.
Well, I think there's like a gas pedal to this game that I think remains elusive to a fair number of people who play it, to be totally honest. I don't think rushing in particular, that's one of the reasons why I made that rushing video. I don't think people are quite as in tune to how much you can really just kick your economy into overdrive and just start like vomiting units onto the map.
Oh wow, look at that chariot right in the middle of the barbarians there. If they all choose to attack that chariot, which I don't see why they wouldn't, that chariot might be dead.
Oh no. Yeah, we have a really, really deep dive from Jams here. This is how much we have 12, so this would be 4, 7, 10. Yeah,
they have the damage.
That chariot's dead. He's going to lose the chariot to barbarians. That is
likely.
Dreadful.
Not what you want when you've got a massive force staging outside your cities.
No, that's exactly enough. All of these units that are in range have exactly enough damage. Yeah, so that chariot's dead. That's really, really unfortunate. Of course, he doesn't quite... No, yeah, that chariot's dead no matter what happens.
Yeah, he doesn't see the skirmisher right at the back there, but
Yeah.
no, this was just a little bit too bold pushing in here with a damaged unit.
That's all right. I still believe in you, Jams. You can do this.
We got the hanging gardens being built in Pelusium.
I know, I saw that. I didn't call it out, but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he has his, like I said, his economy is pretty crazy. 1,200 food in the bank is awesome, especially when, I mean,
Yeah.
chariots are something that you want to be building still. Because even with this army that we're seeing right now, there's still only 2 spears in this whole army. So this is a very routable army.
Yeah. We're seeing a load of pillage tiles in Madhu as well. I'm not sure if that was the rebel, possibly.
That was the rebel, yeah.
But yeah, and of course now he's got no workers to repair it, so
I
he's having to build a worker in Madhu now.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Oh, man.
So we're back to Carthage. Did the barbarians not attack? Why did the barbarians not attack?
Wait, yeah, I think it must be after Carthage's turn. That doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right, does it?
That's why I'm not sure, because I was pretty sure the person on the top, right, is the first player of the nation tab.
Yeah,
but every now and then I've been playing I've been observing these, and it seems like the second person actually happens to be the first player, and I'm not sure I quite understand that.
Confusing.
All right, we have a mace going directly in for the city, and it's a tactician mace in... This, I actually really like the position of this mace. It's on the correct side of the river, so it can do the most damage. And then if for any reason it gets attacked, by the best tile that could attack it, but from melee, which is the city tile, it would do counterattack. And then if you try to attack it from any of these other tiles, it would be across a river. But of course, he's just going to flood these tiles with units, so...
I don't know about that. I mean, that mace could die to a couple of archers and a light chariot.
Oh, yeah, that is a good point. He does have a lot of rage units. Still, all of Jams' units would have to kind of like dive right into this scenario. That river really is going to come in handy, though. This is going to be a really great river.
Yeah, I mean, he has managed to do 10 damage already. It's not a bad start, I suppose.
This there is amphibious available for the ruler. This would be the turn to add it. Can't stress enough to people watching how amphibious is just an amazing promotion to grab if you can get it on at least 1 or 2 units, especially on a map like this. Coastal rain basins are filled with strategic rivers, so it's always nice to have a amphibious melee unit lying around. Especially because I think we will often think, oh, I'll just put my melee unit here by this river and it will be safe. So if you're not aware that there's amphibious kind of hiding in your opponent's army, it can really prove it a shock.
Amphibious is a nice surprise. It kind of falls under a similar category to things like Tough and Bloodthirsty, yes, because suddenly that can change the damage calculations after an attack in a way that's unexpected.
Yeah, Tough is one that I like. Oddly enough, even though it's not like the best strength to have on a ruler, I think it's really interesting to have on a ruler because you get that 5% for all of your troops, or infantry at least. I can't remember if it's everyone or just infantry, but so yeah, that means the math that your opponent could do for your military is just always going to be slightly off.
Yeah, tough is all units. It's not just infantry. So yeah, any leader trait like that just applies to everything, I believe. I'm not sure it's limited at all. So yeah, really strong indeed.
All right, back to Jams here. We have a repair, which makes sense.
So I think even something like Ranger, which you can't normally get on mounted units, will still apply to chariots and trees.
Yes, that is actually correct. You're right. The leader benefits do apply to everybody when even in situations they normally don't. which is
Okay,
nice.
so Jams did lose his chariot, so I guess he is the first player.
Yeah. That's just such a demoralizing loss. Always. I mean, it's bad to lose units to barbarians in general. Like, ideally, if you're trying to play at like peak efficiency, of course it does happen, but like the perfect scenario is you never lose a unit to a tribal unit.
Yeah. Okay, so Jams has moved his unit up to the front line and then
Oh,
promoted them.
cheeky. Unfortunately, Carthage can see the chariot.
That's yeah, I mean that light chariot is dead now,
Oh
right?
shit,
Yeah.
that's awful. Because like, I mean, I love the idea of what he was trying to do, but I
In fact,
think
it's not just dead; it's enlisted.
yeah, yeah, I like that as an idea, but for our players watching, I'm gonna do a little UI thing. Um, this little button right here, just click this button. That'll show you what your opponent can see, what they have vision on. So if there have actually been duels where I've literally shift toggled this. Does that work? If yeah, I've shift toggled it now, and I'll just leave this online. Ooh, I also saved the game apparently. Hotkeys. No, I'll just leave this overlay online sometimes in the middle of a battle, just so I always know where I can stand to be out of my opponent's vision. So yeah, if you did that, you'd know that you don't want to put your guy here because the idea I'm thinking is Jams is going to try and sneakily flank around and get some real good damage here, but he's going to get caught. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure that idea would really have worked anyway because he doesn't have enough units to support that. But
Sure, of course. Of
it's a
course.
nice thought.
I mean, it's not looking good either way, but definitely sending your unit to a death when you're trying to do something sneaky is going to be really depressing when it happens. Yeah,
So yeah, just the two zealot spears would be enough to take out that light chariot if he puts the non-leader one on the forest tile, and that is then a light chariot converted. So then that blocks off the path as well, so he can't even
yeah,
get that
yeah.
chariot
He
free
wouldn't even be
now.
able to flank. Yeah, he's coming in for a mace down here. We're going all the way out deep. Really, just saying, "Come get me. Take the fight to you." These battles have
Yes,
been wild. Love it.
this is surely a last gasp attempt at the moment. I don't think Jams has any way to win this fight. Seasand says wait, you can toggle that on when you were playing the game. I thought that's just an observer tool. No, you can indeed use all of these map overlays, including the player vision. That's very handy. So obviously it's not 100% accurate in that you won't be able to tell what the player with a hidden scout can see. So if there's a hidden scout you don't know about it, you won't see that vision.
Yes.
But any vision that you know about from visible units and borders will be shown.
Yes, and that's I've actually recently discovered this just to confirm that it's also like cities as well. So, for example, we could see vision because we know the city here, but let's just say this city was in the fog and was settled. All right, no, we have the list coming up here. Two
Yeah.
spirits did move in, and he got the correct. Oh no, it looks like he went in for a slinger too, so he misjudged.
Yeah, he took the one damage slinger, which is a shame, but it's fine. It's not
Yeah,
the end of
whatever.
the world.
Still
It
an
works.
enlisted light chariot. All right, let's take a look at that power graph too. Yep.
Well, actually, I guess he needs to focus on the units down here now. He can get some routes in with that chariot and his marauders. Be interesting to see if he takes an attack with the mace and sacrifices it or retreats it to heal.
Yeah, I never knew. I don't really do the overlays all that much. The big one I use is City Connection, and now I use the Vision overlay. And I only found out about the Vision overlay because of that fun video on my channel. If you've seen the trailer for this, the fun ahoy there moment, I was doing completely blind. I did actually not know if my opponent could see my ship hiding in the clouds. All right, we have a route coming up on a militia. We still can attack with this macement, so
Yeah, he can get the axe as well if he wants to sacrifice the mace for it.
yeah, I mean, why not, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. This is end of days.
Yeah,
give
this
it
is
all
the
you've
type of
got.
example. It's like this is actually a great contrast to the Jam situation when he had kill potential. It's like you can, yes, you can retreat this mace and heal up, but or you can just take a whack and just keep killing more shit.
Wow, that tactician mace is coming all the way down here. That was a march to get him in position.
He's
And he's
probably gonna
still
try
one
and
damage short of a rout. Ouch.
yeah. Oh,
I mean,
unfortunate.
he's got marauders he can do
Yeah,
stuff
he
with.
does. He does.
It's fine.
So he's probably gonna kill 2 axes here. Yep. And this is gonna be an example. He's gonna keep this mace in the fight, whack this, and then route another axe.
Yep. He'll need to buy some orders, but he can kill another axe with
Oh, he's
the
out
remaining.
of training.
No, Marauders got plenty of training. You might be looking at Jams.
Oh, I'm looking at Jams. Oh, I am. Whoops, my bad. Here we go. Yep. There we go.
Yes, Beckelstein mentioned the V key to the unit upgrade. That definitely came in very handy for me in my game with Beckelstein. In fact, because yeah, being able to see which promotions your unit has to make sure they're on the right tiles to get the most use out of them is definitely very handy.
This is something I'm not familiar with. That's cool. See? Wonderful thing about this tournament is that we all get to learn new stuff. Really, really cool. Yeah, that's neat.
So it looks like he has bought the orders. He is going for the route. Perfect. Yep. It's another unit down. So that's 2 axemen and a militia killed, plus a light chariot converted. He can buy 1 more order to get another attack on an archer, which I would definitely do if I was him. Yes, he has.
Yeah,
Nice.
100%. There it is.
All right. Well, that's definitely an argument for keeping a large amount of training in the bank. It's he has been spending it on the big turns. He's been absolutely by he I mean Marauder has been absolutely happy to spend huge amounts of training in a single turn just when he needs the orders, so that is a good use of that.
Indeed. Yes, and that it's just really fantastic, all the different ways you can use the resources. I mean, because the other thing, obviously, though, that training is coming directly from cities that, aren't building military units. So it's like weird. It's like you can build units or you can move units.
Jams says check. I think that might be a GG.
It's entirely possible. I think so. Oh, no, it didn't.
So yeah, that's quite a brutal turn for Jams. Completely understandable if he
Take a look.
wants to.
Oh, yeah, we have a catastrophic drop in power for Egypt, especially when we consider the majority of... Oh, we have a route. That just... Okay, wait, what's happening? Oh, no,
It's a
okay.
surrender.
All right. A concession from Jams. Marauder has taken the victory of this one. Our dear Jams sees defeat and sees himself on the way out of the tournament. Let's see if we can get these guys in here for a post-game chat.
Yes, congratulations, Marauder. That was a tightly fought game with a lot of back and forth, but he did manage to win the day in the end. So nice to see.
Let's see. Oh. Hello?
$25 specialists to 8 on James's side.
I am so bad at Discord.
That's
oh, hey.
easy.
Here we go.
Sometimes.
Wait, this works, right?
40.
Oh, I made a... I made a different
Hello,
thing.
Jam.
That's
You
crazy.
there?
All right.
Gents.
Hey,
Hello.
Jams. Now let's see if I can just get Marauder in here.
What a game. Lots of backwards and forwards there.
Yes, quite a bit of back and forth.
Some valiant defense. Managed to repel that attack in the middle there.
Yes. Are you working on getting him in, Sion, or do you need me to
I
get him in?
am working on getting him in. I just
Okay.
don't know
Let me see if
why. I
let me see if
can't.
because I think well, if he's not your friend, you might not be able to.
No, he is, but like it's weird because sometimes I have the ability
Oh,
to add them to a call, and then other times I just don't see the button. Weird. All right.
all right. I added him, and
Perfect.
it
Thank
looks
you.
like here we go.
All
Hello,
right.
hello.
Hello,
Hello.
congratulations, Marauder.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, my first win.
There you go.
Woohoo.
Totally.
You did so great, man. It was a fun watch to see. You just kind of like, I really feel like you've put Jams up against, the wall from like the start of the game. Really, like you once you started fighting over that central city, you just kept on going.
Yeah, it seems so. It seems so. I pumped a lot of units and then had a bit setback when Jams really did well on the defense and swept all my slingers into oblivion. But then I came back with a fresh batch of higher tech units, and I think it seals the deal. Oof.
Yeah.
Super concentrated, super stressed, but super fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, like this might be one of our closest contests in terms of actual stats here. I'm looking at the units lost versus military units killed. Both players lost 24 units, and both players Egypt killed 34, and Carthage killed 32 units. So this was a very, very bloody match.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised that I killed more. Does that include barbarians and tribes as well, or no?
It will include some of the NPC tribes, barbarians units
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
But still, you were taking a lot of kills in that first assault there. Your
Yeah.
kill potential, you were killing like 3 or 4 units when Marauder was only killing like 2 in return. So
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah, I was counting on my enlist kills, but I ran out of civics. When I get the civics back, then my leader died.
I didn't. Yeah, that enlist kill was. You used it very well. I will commend you on that.
so
You know what I think really I really kind of went for an early rush, and I think I didn't put enough into development. As you guys can obviously see, I never took that northern site. Just it was kind of a pain to get through with all the woods.
yeah.
So it was like, oh, I'll get to it later. And then we ended up being in such a back and forth pitched battle that later it just never came for that city site. And I was really hoping that a chariot rush would really put him on the back foot, but unfortunately that didn't materialize the way that I had hoped it would. So
Yeah, we had a conversation about that, about the give and take of like pressing towards the center and setting yourself up versus whether, it ends up biting you in the long term to leave a site open like
Yeah.
that. Now, one question I
Yeah.
was curious to GMs, were you running up against an issue where you were forgetting that last hit potential on zealot generals? Because we noticed a couple of times where you had a possible route incoming, but it seemed like the zealot generals on units kept tripping you up.
They did. Yeah.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
I mean, I actually, I don't think anyone was actually watching my POV, but if anyone does go back and watch it, there's some strong language about my feelings towards zealot this
Yeah. They're really tricky to watch out for. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've realized, this is my third multiplayer match. Well, no, not third. But I'm still sub double digits.
Yeah.
And I definitely need to put more into combat. Understanding. I think I probably did a little bit better in this one than I did against Nazar. Um, I did lose a lot of units, but I think I tried to focus on kills a little bit better in this game than I have in other games that I've done. So
It was definitely an interesting trade, definitely an interesting back and forth. Now,
yeah,
Marauder, my question for you, on the other hand, was once you started positioning yourself where you had what at least looked like, obviously the battle didn't go your way, but you had all the slingers in the hills above Egypt, and you were kind of getting ready to kind of what I imagine was in your head was just like, go in and kill that guy. You kill him, like press my advantage. I have most of the map. You bludgeon him, right? What my curiosity is, it didn't seem like you were spending that much time focusing on building military units in your your broader empire, and also you never really set up a road structure to kind of just keep funneling more towards Egypt. Were you thinking that like you were trying to juggle like fighting a battle but also keeping yourself developing economically, or were you just not thinking that you were going to need all of the extra troops?
It was like the orders were really scarce because moving this large army it requires practically all the orders, and then fighting with the army requires all the orders. So I've decided not to go with the roads, as a lot of my terrain back in my kind of empire is flat, so the roads would give something but not as much as otherwise. So I just dumped the idea of the roads there. And then with the military units, I did try to kind of juggle with the economic development, because my thinking is that when I proceed with the battle and then we kind of nullify each other with killing most of our units, and I don't have enough to press on with the siege of the cities, because sieging the cities is really hard and really costly. Then I have some economic fallback. I can bring up the science and come back stronger with higher tech.
I kind of like that.
My idea.
I do kind of like that a little bit, because it feels like you learned a lesson from your first game against Yagman, where you kind of attempted a similar thing of like bludgeoning him down early, but ran into the type of thing where it's like, well, once that was blunted and you were pushed back, his economic power was able to overtake you, and you just had no response for it. So I feel like there maybe was a lesson learned there.
Yeah, well, with the Yagman, it was like his special unit that just overran me. He made like 5 chariots, and I folded like a blanket. So it was it was no contest there. Here, I was pretty sure that Egypt will not pump a lot of chariots out on me. I had also some spearmen at the ready, so it's not gonna be like this. So if, as you mentioned, I learned my lesson. But it was really close, really close. I was counting on this kind of economic pressure, that I had more cities, more income, more resources, at least I guess so, because the statistics in the left corner said that they have many more cities than Egypt. And I was, to be honest, for most of the first part of the game, I was really worried that it is a kind of Egyptian tall building strategy, that I gonna get overwhelmed really soon with high-tech units, because he settled very few cities, and I thought it's kind of a build order that I don't know, and and the military capability is gonna skyrocket at some point. And when I come in with like a swarm of low-tech units, gonna run at me with all the unique ones. So I was pretty worried, but it did kind of when we started to lock in the combat, I saw that it's not the case, so I was more relaxed.
Interestingly enough, in some ways, that's kind of what helped Jams with the defense. That first battle was primarily mostly slingers, but not the first battle in the match, but this first invasion here in the second half towards Icon and Shadet. It was mostly slingers going up against Jams' archers and chariots, and it gave you a bit of a struggle there. So definitely not bad thinking there, worrying about, oh, what if my opponent gets a tech lead and then just comes at me with stronger units.
Yeah, well,
yeah, my idea was to trade the units, and then I come back stronger with my economic engine in the back. But sorry, James, for disrupting you.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, you definitely had an early military advantage being able to buy all those units, but once those camps were taken over, then it was like your source of that army kind of dried up. But then it was like, I was there with my chariots, and I was like, oh look, they're, his it says we're similar, but I'm like, oh, his military is a paper tiger. He's just got these travel units, but I wasn't able to really shred through them like I thought I would. I guess I didn't have enough. Terrain might have been a little bit of a factor. I don't really quite remember everything that happened in the first half of the game, other than a horde of tribal bot tribal units, an absolute horde of them. And then I sacrificed that city that you took off me, because I was like, well, it's I'll let him beat against the walls of the city for a little bit. I'll build up a second force. I'll come through and I'll just rout you. But I need to work on. I need to watch some more scientific videos on routing a little bit better. So,
if you didn't leave the first city, the Shotep one, and if put your unique the ranged chariot in there, you would have. I would have a lot of trouble conquering it, because it had walls, and you would have like peppered me from inside the walls, and it would take me a long time to beat that.
I was also worried about still losing the city and then my most powerful unit. And I was like, well, it's better. I guess it's better if I pull it back now, because I can counter with it later. And I mean, who knows? We won't know what happened with that, line of thinking.
Right.
But, I had that unit up until the last turn, pretty much when you took it. So, I mean, I think I got my money's worth out of that unit.
Yeah, it's always tricky
definitely.
for both sides, really. It's always tricky to learn when to attack or when to retreat, or things like that. I mean, I think it's little tactical tricks or mistakes even on both sides that occurred. There was certainly, I think, there was a lot of kill potential when you had that ballista up, Jams, which unfortunate because
I definitely
didn't materialize. And then obviously, Marauder, you got that amazing 5-unit route chain with that elephant, which was just beautiful to watch.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Very well.
But I lost the elephant, and Jams preserved his chariot, range chariot, so that was kind of a trade-off.
All right. Well, there are no questions from chat, so I think I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream. Fluffy, do you have any other questions that you want to close out with or anything?
I don't know. Just to say congratulations again to Marauder for a well-played game, and good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Yep.
Very well played.
Yep.
Thank you all for both of you for casting, and thank you, James, for playing a great game. You were a really formidable opponent, and
yes,
barely overcome.
I look forward to playing with you again, maybe without a turn timer. So
it's gonna take this a long time, I guess.
Yes. All right, gents, have a great day.
All right. Thank you both very much for joining in, and thanks for letting us watch. If you're watching live with us now, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching after the fact on YouTube, please go around, like, subscribe, all of the content. Tune into the Mohawk channel for the playlist. And James, thanks again for playing. And sorry to see you go so early, but hopefully you can cast some games with us in the future. And Marauder, you get to keep fighting for survival.
Of course.
All right. Take care, everybody. We're going to close out the stream now.
Yep. Bye-bye.